When we listen to Juan Savin, more often than not, you're going to hear him talk about chess.
Chess at 3 or 5 levels, then you have more pieces, and you even will lose kings and queens on different levels, but it doesn't mean that the game's over.
Yet, no matter how you look at it, in the end, we're the pawns. In his most recent discussion with Nino, he actually talked about a gut punch.
A couple of the things, there's a gut punch coming that people just aren't going to be able to see as part of the plan. And
in order for people to experience so much pain, they won't want to have it happen again.
Unless it's so painful that people never want to go through this kind of drama again, it's going to have to be pretty tough. And
now, if you ask me, this sounds more like an abusive parent than anything else. Now, some of you might be offended by that and say, well, if you say that, you don't understand near-death experiences. While it's true that near-death experiences are actually beneficial for some people because they need that immediate radical change to happen. And near-death experiences are a way for them to experience something that produces that motivation to change on a radical level. But when you look at why those things happen and what changes they make, in the end, there are people who are conscious enough to recognize the need for change and actually make those changes so that they never have to have a near-death experiences. But I think there's a different way to look at not only the chess pieces on the board, but the whole experience in general. On a chessboard, you have pieces with inherent power, and their status on the board is from their ability to move and do things on the board with that inherent power. With Go pieces, it's totally different. Each piece is the same. The power of each piece comes from both its placement on the board and its connection to other pieces. And that's how I see our life on this planet. Our power is actually derived from spirit, from our connection to the universe or God, however you want to label it. That connection and our connection to each other is where we derive our power from. We're intentionally distracted from our connection to spirit, the universe, and God, so that we're focused upon the physical elements, upon money and time and what's physically here. That keeps us maintained at a physical level so that we're more easily manipulated. And we perceive our power to come from this physical level. And the best way to control us at a physical level is through a constant state of fear. I find when I watch a lot of the information that's out there, it doesn't leave me in a state of empowerment. It actually leaves me in a state of fear and disempowerment. And I say, unplug from all this. When you know there's an electrical shock coming, one of the best things you can do is disconnect so you don't get fried from it. To prevent ourselves from getting fried from this, I say we need to disconnect, take a step back so that we can actually reconnect with spirit, with God, with the universe, however you want to label that, reconnecting with that and reconnecting with each other so that we can all connect together. And in that sense, I think we can empower ourselves. So in the end, I just think that we let either side play their games out on a physical level. That's their strength. That's fine. But for some of us, we can take a step back, connect with Source, with the universe, with God, and meditate, pray, whatever that means to you, but make that connection to that greater source and then connect with each other on a level that brings us all up. And in that sense, they're doing their part. They play their chess games on their own board. And although we are on that board, we can be of greater service by connecting and uplifting each other. And I think when we do that, we'll only feel better, but I think we can enhance and affect greater change than if we just continue to watch over and over again the repetition of what's going on and getting into this state of negativity and fear. So those are just some thoughts. If you found it helpful, be sure to give it a like. Thanks a lot for watching.